Hello everyone, my name is Maddie. I'm one of the children's librarians at the Chatham Library. I am back, hopefully with a working computer. I had a lot of technical issues and we ended up having to reset my laptop, so hopefully it's going to work this time. I don't know what was wrong with it. We're going to give this a go. But the important part is I'm back, and I'm back with an adorable craft. Pretty fishy if you ask me. I've made a shark for the example, just to show you that you can do other things, and we're going to make a clownfish for today's video. And they're pretty cute. I gave the shark little teeth. It's so cute. And it moves. You can make them swim. It's so cute. I love it. I love it. We're going to make it. So what you need for this craft is construction paper of any color. If you want to make a clownfish, you'll need orange and white. If you want to make a shark, you'll need blue or gray or white or whatever color. Or you can make a fun colored fish with purple or green or yellow or red or whatever you want to do. I'm going to use orange and white for the clownfish. You will need scissors to cut things out, some form of glue. I've got a glue stick, and a marker or pen or pencil or something to draw. Since we're making a clownfish, I need to draw the stripes before I cut them out. I mean, you don't have to, but I feel better drawing them out before I just go cutting into paper. I think that's everything. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Excuse me, Mr. Shark. I'm gonna need this space. I've got my regular sized construction paper here. Well, I guess normal paper sized. And I'm gonna take one of the corners, and I'm going to fold it over so that this top line lines up with this side of the paper. I'm going to fold it like that. That is good enough. So this is what we've got now. We just folded that over, and we're going to cut off this bottom edge here because we don't need that. So grab your scissors. Alrighty, there we are. Save this for later. We're gonna need it for the fins. I'll set that right there. And this is what we have. So open it back up. You're gonna do the same thing. You're gonna tape this corner and fold it and line this edge up with the middle here. This edge. So I want to fold it the way I show you guys instead of doing it something different. And that doesn't matter if you wanted to fold it this way too, that would work too. Just pick a side, that's okay. So that's the side I picked, and we're gonna do the same thing so that it's symmetrical here. And you're gonna be left with a shape that looks like a kite. There we go. That'll work. There we are. So you're going to go ahead and open it back up, and you want where all the lines meet up at the bottom, you want that to face towards you, and then you want all the folds to be upwards like that when you put it on the table, because this is going to be the outside of the fish, the part that's going to be seen, so we can decorate it. From here, we need to make the stripes for our lovely clownfish. So I've got some white printer paper and my pen here. I'm just going to go ahead and draw some squiggly lines. It doesn't have to be perfect. And the best part about clownfish is that every stripe is unique. So if you want to make a bunch of these, they all get to be unique in their own way, and it's fantastic. And they don't have to match mine perfectly. You can make it your own. And they're going to be different size stripes too, because the fish is bigger up here towards the head than it is towards the tail. So the bigger stripe's going to go up here, then you'll have a medium-sized stripe, then a small stripe back here. These are the size stripes that I went with. They're kind of like little blobs, but it's okay. We're going to cut them out, and I'm going to show you what they look like on the fish. Grab your scissors again, and go ahead and cut them out. Take your time and be careful with the scissors. You don't want to hurt yourself. There's stripe number 1. The important part with the stripes is just to make sure they're at least as big as these middle 2 parts, because that's what's going to be shown on the outside, so that's okay. If it doesn't reach the triangles on the outside, that's okay, because that's going to be on the bottom of the fish. You're not really going to see that as much. So there's stripe number 1. Stripe number 2. And stripe number 3. Okay, and you get to save the rest of this white paper for later because we'll need it for the whites of the eyes. And now it's time to go ahead and put the stripes on our clownfish. So, grab your glue here. Just make sure this has a good coating of glue. You want it to stick, especially after we cut the fish so that it's able to move and swim. Alrighty, pretty well covered there. And press down good. And again, as long as it covers the middle 2 triangles, you're in good shape. If you need to put a little extra glue there just to make sure the edges sit down, you can do that. Looks like I need to. There's number 1. On to number 2. Seems like you're gonna get glue in your fingers with this craft here. There, looks good. Alright, and the last stripe here. You don't have to do 3, you can do 4 if you want. It's really up to you. Or you don't have to do any, that's alright too. You can skip this step entirely if you want. There's number 3. Going down. And again, make sure those stay down. If you need to put glue on the ends of the paper just to make sure they stick, go ahead. So it's easier to make sure it sticks now than later when it's already cut up. Okay, I think the rest of that's going to stick pretty well. Now, this middle crease here, we're going to cut that. We're going to fold it back together and then we're going to cut it. This is going to create this effect here. So when you've got it facing you, this side is going to be the head, where the folds all come together at the end, that's the tail end, and the opposite end, that's going to be where the head is. So you don't want to cut the head, so you want to leave plenty of space there, just like I did there. And then we're going to cut into the fish and go all the way down to this crease line. I'll show you with my first cut here. So you want to leave plenty of room. I'll probably go to right there, just a little bit in front of the first stripe. And you're just want to go straight towards that other crease, the other fold. All the way down. That's what it looks like. So we're going to do this all down the back of the fish. And be careful, because you don't want to cut too thin of pieces. You want them to be about the same length, because otherwise he won't swim as well. And you do want to make sure you go all the way down to the crease so he will swim. There's my second cut. That's about as thick as I'm going to make all of the stripes there. Oh, see, if you don't glue it down properly, it'll stick up a little bit. So you can just take your glue back and fix that real quick. There we go. That'll probably happen a little bit at least. I think it happened to me. I had to redo my first one just to make sure that they all stuck. That's okay. Alright, keep cutting those. Careful with the scissors and just go all the way down to that fold. Try and make them about the same length. Make sure all your cuts are going the same direction too. Alrighty. So I've cut all of these. And then when you get to the tail, leave a good amount there, because the tail doesn't need to bend all the way. Alright, so with that, we can open it back up. Got quite a few lines there. And now we're going to take the outer triangles. It's coming up again. A little extra glue. Well, we'll fix that. So now we take the outer triangles, and what we're going to do, we're going to fold them back and lay one side on top of the other. So it will look like that. And we need to glue that. The easiest way I found to glue it was to just lay it down in the triangle and put glue all over this side. And this will be, the other side will go on top of this one. Once you're sure you've got enough glue on there, so remember, we want to make sure this stays. Go ahead and put your other side on top of it. Try and line it up the best you can. It'll take a little bit of adjusting, I'm sure. Once you've got it lined up there, just be careful not to crush your fish. And put your hand in there a little bit to press it together so that it stays. This is what you've got so far. And as long as you go down to that fold, it'll bend pretty easy. And you can go through, make sure each where you cut bends. If it doesn't, you may need to take your scissors and carefully go back in just a little bit. There we go. Now he's ready to swim, and all we need to do is give him some eyes. If you want to give him a round face like I did with my shark, you can. I'm going to go ahead and do that. All you need for that is to take your scissors. I'm going to straighten out the fold here a little bit. Take your scissors and just round off that edge. Doesn't have to be perfect. Yeah, it looks good. Alrighty. Now get that white paper back out, and we're gonna cut a little circle for his eyes. I got a glue cap, and I lost my pen. There it is. So this is what I'm gonna use for his eyes. You don't have to trace it out. You can freestyle. You can give them triangle eyes, or rectangles, or hearts for eyes. That'll be fun. It's more difficult to cut out smaller things, so take your time with this. There we go. Set this aside. I'm just going to use my pen. I'm just going to draw some little circles here. And go ahead and draw it on both the eyes. Go ahead and take your glue here, and we're going to put his eyes on his face here. There's one. And number two, he's got two eyes now. Look at that. And he's almost done. All he needs left now to swim are some fins. Here we go. You can bend this down a little bit just so he's a little bit more round, or you can leave him triangular. But we definitely need to get you some fins, bud. Alright, bring back that orange piece of paper, the one that you used to cut out the main body. And I'll use this pen. So with the fins, you can make whatever shape you kind of want. And you want to make sure there's plenty of room for you to glue underneath his body, because we're going to glue his fins to the bottom here. That kind of looks like a nose, doesn't it? That's what I'm going to use for his fin shape. So with clownfish, their fins kind of have a black line on the edge of it. So I'm just making this line thicker, and that'll be just fine. You don't have to do this, you don't have to draw anything on the fins, but I'm going to. I think it's really cute. do some of these. There's one fin. And to make this a lot easier, if you wanted to, you could fold this in half. Just there. Make sure you have a little bit left so we have some for the back fin. But if you fold this in half and just cut that out, leave this amount for the back fin, but if we cut this out while it's folded, we'll end up with two of them. There it is, and we've got two. So now I'm just going to do the same details on the other fin. Careful that you don't draw on your table. If you need to put paper underneath, that'll make it easier to clean up so you don't have to clean pen marks or marker marks off your table. There's our second fin. And for the back here, I guess I should probably count this for now. You don't want to let your glue dry out, because we still need that. For the back fin here, I'm just pretty much gonna do it's like a water drop type thing. That. And I'm gonna do the same thing with the thicker line, so there's still some black on the fin. And I'll do that. I'm going to cut this out as well. Alright, now we just need to cut these out. Or not cut these out, we just cut these out. We need to put these on the fish. Get your glue back out. And all this room that we left here, go ahead and put glue on that, because that's what's going to go underneath and attach to the fish. You can pick however far you want the fin to sit. I chose right there. Just make sure that you get enough glue on it so it's not lifting up or anything, any of the paper. Hold that for a second so that it sets. And do the same thing with the other fins. There's two fins down, and we've got one more here. Bear with me. And this part you have to be careful because you don't want to crush the tail. So you have to carefully put his fin there and hold it. And there you have it. Look at that cute little fish. And he can go swimming anytime he wants, as long as you let him. Well, there is our clownfish and our shark side by side. Let's see. They're so cute. What I did, as you can see, he doesn't have much of a jaw there. I just took another piece of paper and I glued it inside the jaw for the shark. And I gave him a little tongue and some teeth. You can do that too on the clownfish if you want. You don't have to. I think he looks pretty good as he is. So, I hope you enjoyed this craft. I know school is starting up for a lot of you, so I wish you the best of luck and stick through it. I know it's a weird time, but we'll get through it. We'll all get through it together. I started school this week. It's weird being online, but it's doable. We can do it. I hope you guys enjoyed this. It was really fun to make, and I really enjoyed making this video for you guys. And I will be back next time with another video. Bye, guys!